So for the next minute or so, while we wait for others to join us, take this time to get yourself settled, roll out your mat, clear office space. Hello, Anne. Grab any blocks or props that you might need and get yourself situated. We'll spend a couple of minutes here at the top just focusing on the breath, creating some distance between whatever it was you were doing before now and this. The days are getting longer, which is nice. When we started this class at the beginning of the quarter, it was dark right now, and now you can still see me for a while. So we're moving out of winter and into spring. And as always, that's a good time to think about what areas we want to grow into, much like how my plants, for instance, choose which branches and which leaves they're going to pour their energy into over the next couple months. It's always nice to take some time here and think about what directions we want to grow in, what characteristics we want to start to cultivate a little bit more of. I always like to do that instead of setting things like New Year's resolutions, because New Year's resolutions can just kind of lead to this feeling of like shame and guilt when we don't do them all the way, or they fall by the wayside because we're all busy. Hi, John, welcome. Um, Whereas when we think about what areas we want to grow into or grow from, this provides the opportunity to not feel guilty or shamed about it when we get to the end of a period and maybe we've only moved a little bit in that direction. Maybe we've moved a lot. It's just kind of something to bring curiosity to instead of adamantly state that we're going to do this thing. Sometimes that can be nice. um, I think in the middle of what we are all collectively going through, the little things are helpful. Instead of trying to set big goals, set little, I'm going to grow this branch today. So anyway, if that resonates with you, take a moment here to think about what areas you want to grow into, what you want to cultivate over the next couple months. Maybe that's more compassion or kindness. Maybe that's some kind of strength or flexibility, both in a physical sense or in a mindful sense. Maybe that's resiliency, or maybe it's just picking up a new habit. Maybe it's getting a puppy so that he can then try to escape the bathroom. And if that doesn't resonate with you, take a moment here to set some intention that does. It's our last class of the quarter. So hopefully, this intention will not only carry you through today's practice and the rest of the day and the rest of the week, but until the next quarter starts and we can all meet again. And as you set this intention or intentions, begin to bring the focus to the breath. Let the eyes soften or close or gaze down at the mat. Notice how the breath feels. Use the breath as an exploratory vessel for the body. Observe how the body feels. Try to avoid labels that categorize things into good or bad, and simply notice sensations. Oh, that feels tight, or oh, that feels loose, or there's a sharp pain here. Pain doesn't always necessarily have to be a bad thing. Pain is normally our body's way of telling us to slow down or focus a little bit more on something. With this increasing focus on the breath, let's take 3 deep rounds of breath here together. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Breathe in through the lips, like sipping through a straw. Out through the nose. Seal the lips and breathe in through the nose. And out through the nose. Allow the breath to resume its natural rhythm. Let the eyes slowly start to open. To begin with today, slowly start to let the neck roll over towards the right and bring the chin down towards the chest and over to the left. Then pull the head back. Careful of the cervical spine here. Be gentle. Lift the chin a little. Continue to roll over towards the right and back down to the chest. Move through these slow neck circles with a deliberateness and intentionality to be curious about any sensations along the way. Oftentimes we'll do these warm-up movements very quickly to start to get the blood flowing, but it can be nice to slow that pace down and notice a little bit more about the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons. Take one more revolution, whichever direction you're going. I think the would be counterclockwise right now. And then start to move in the opposite direction. Start to roll the head over towards the left, down towards the chest, over towards the right. Tilt the head back, gentle with the cervical spine, and then back over towards the left. Continue to move slowly and deliberately. Notice places where it feels a little bit crunchy or tweaky. Modify the depth and the angle as needed to prevent any of that pain. And take one more revolution this way. Bring the head back to a neutral position. Reach the crown of the head up. Inhale, reach the arms out firmly and long towards the sides. Bring the palms to face towards the front. Exhale, squeeze the fingers in towards the palms. Place the thumbs over the fingers. Inhale to expand the fingers. Open the webbing of the hands wide. Exhale, pull the fingers back into the palms. Squeeze all the way down to the forearms, the biceps. Inhale to open. Reach the fingers out wide. And exhale, squeeze back in. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, open back on up. This time, flap your arms back nice and slow, like a bird in slow motion. And exhale, bring the arms forward. Bring the hands together to touch palms at heart center, out wide. Inhale to open, sweep the arms out wide, all the way back. Squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, bring the arms back around towards the front. Place the palms together. Inhale to expand, grow wide. We're all really big albatrosses. Albatri. And exhale, bring the arms back together, palms touch out in a wide heart center. Inhale, bring the hands back down to the hips, the thighs, or the ground. And exhale, just to stay for a moment. Notice any length through the spine. Lift a little bit taller with the next inhale. With the next exhale, allow yourself to melt down into the seat a little bit more. Let the shoulders relax. Inhale, reach the arms up and out. Hands come high. And exhale, palms together down through heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out. Lift the hands up. Bring the gaze high. Exhale, palms together down through heart center. Inhale one more time, sweep the arms out. Hands come high. This time, as you exhale, bring the palms down to the ground in front, shift forward onto the hands and knees. Bring the palms under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Spread the palms and the fingers open wide, press down into the L's of the hands, the thumbs and the forefingers. Start to cock the hips from left to right. Again, very deliberately, very slow, a little bit different than the more rapid movements that we normally do. Keep the weight heavy through the palms. Continue to press down. Don't move the hips any farther than you can while keeping the weight in the palms. Stay with this for one more breath. Continue to notice any sensations through the wrists, through the arms, through the hips. Then come back to neutral. Bring the hips back over the knees, the palms back under the shoulders if they've moved. Inhale, send the right leg back. Flex the toes, point them down towards the ground. Exhale, bend the right knee. Pull the heel back towards the hips in the air. Inhale, stretch the right leg out long again, point the toes down. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the nose, round the spine up. Inhale, expand backwards, stretch the leg long, flex the toes down. Exhale, bend the knee, pull the heel towards the low back. Inhale to open, stretch the leg out towards the back. Exhale, pull the right knee in towards the nose, round the spine. Inhale to expand, grow as long as possible, reach the crown forward. Exhale, bend the knee, pull the heel in tight towards the hips, towards the glutes. Inhale to expand, send the right leg out. Exhale, last time, draw the right knee in towards the nose, round the spine. Inhale, send the right leg back. Exhale, pull the right knee down to the ground to meet the left. Inhale, walk the hands back towards the hips, sit back onto the heels. And exhale, clasp the hands together in front. Start to circle the wrists in a clockwise motion. Again, nice and deliberate and slow. Continue to move and rotate the wrist. Notice any sensations through the wrists, through the fingers. Observe if it's fluid and smooth or if it's a little bit catchy. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, bring the palms back down to the ground underneath the shoulders. Shift the knees underneath the hips. Exhale, spread the fingers open wide, press down into the palms. Inhale, send the left leg back. Point the toes down, press back through the heel. Exhale, bend the left knee, draw the heel back firm towards the glutes. Inhale to open, lengthen the left leg. Exhale, draw the left knee in towards the nose, round the spine. Inhale, stretch the left leg back, flex the toes down. Exhale, bend the left knee, pull the left heel in close. Inhale to open, point the toes towards the ground. Exhale, draw the left knee in tight, round the spine up. Inhale to expand, grow really, really long. We're stretching through those branches. Exhale, bend the knee, pull the left heel in tight. Inhale to open, press back through the left heel. Exhale, last time, draw the left knee in, round the spine, knee towards the nose. Inhale to expand and lengthen. And exhale, draw the left knee down to meet the right on the mat. Inhale, walk the hands back towards the heels, sit back onto the heels again, and exhale, clasp the hands together, different thumb on top this time, and then start to circle the wrists in a counterclockwise motion. Notice if this feels different than the other way, if it feels smoother or less smooth. Maybe it doesn't quite want to go that way. Maybe there's more creaking or cracking. I know It feels very weird for the wrists in particular to have two different sides, but it's just like the rest of our body. Sometimes one side's tighter than the other, sometimes it's stronger than the other. Take one more round of breath here. And inhale, bring the hands apart. Start to flick the wrist gently as if there's water on the edge of your fingers and you're trying to flick it off onto the ground. If there was any tingling sensation in the palms or the wrists or the fingers, notice what happens to it here. This is something that we do in climbing a lot to get rid of the tension and the pump in our forearms. And I remember that I used to do this very quickly to the point that I think I was ending up adding more tension and more strain to the forearms than not. On your next inhale, bring the palms back down to the ground, shift forward onto the hands and knees, back into a nice long tabletop. Exhale, spread the fingers open wide, press down through the palms. Inhale, press the chest down and out and up, lower the belly, squeeze the shoulders together, raise the chin. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin close, pull the stomach high. Inhale to lower the belly, raise the heart, think out and up, squeeze the shoulders back. Exhale to round the spine up, pull the chin towards the chest. Inhale to lower and the belly and lift through the chest. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, lower the head, pull the stomach in. Inhale, drop back down to a neutral spine. And exhale, walk the hands back towards the heels. Sit up into a high kneeling position. The toes can be tucked or untucked. Press down into the tops of the feet or into the tips of the toes. Inhale, reach the arms out, lift the hands up. Exhale, left hand, left hip, bend into the left, reach through the right fingertips. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, right hand, right hip, bend into the right, lean into the left fingers, reach through the left side. Inhale the hands skyward. Exhale over to the left, through the right fingers, grow nice and long. Inhale, back up. Exhale over to the right. Imagine that your fingers are sprouting branches, flowers, yay. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Exhale one more time each side with your own breath at your own pace. I have a couple of angel wing begonias that are very stubborn with their flowers right now. They're just sprouting beautiful leaves instead of flowers. After your two sides, come back with the arms raised and then start to swing the arms from left to right. Stay in this high kneel position. Press down through the knees to keep the hips pointed towards the front. Engage the twist through the torso. And do that by really just swinging the arms from left to right, but not actually controlling them, just letting them be heavy, dead weight all the way down to the fingers. Take one more round of breath here. And come back to stillness. Lower back down onto the hands into the knees. Inhale, tuck the toes. Then exhale, nice and slow, raise the knees, send the hips up and back, come into downward facing dog. Bend the knees quite a lot here, start to pedal out the feet, raise one heel and lower the other. If the shoulders feel a little bit touchy, try to position the fingers to point out towards the out edges of the mat. This might create a little bit more space in the shoulder girdle. And Keep that focus down into the L's of the fingers. This can help to maintain the balance between the right and the left side, and also cue a little bit of engagement of the serratus anterior just underneath the shoulders. Come back to stillness in the center. Inhale, bend the knees a little bit more. Gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, a dozen slow steps towards the top. Imagine that with each step, you're creating little rows of flowers underneath your feet. It'll be spring soon, and we'll all get to see all of the beautiful colors that the Seattle area has to offer. Or if you're somewhere else, maybe they also have beautiful colors. Come to the top of the mat. Heel toe the feet together to touch. Inhale, palms to the front of the shins. Keep the knees slightly bent. Start to unroll all the way to stand. Take your time, 3 breaths or so. Draw the palms up past the knees. Continue to breathe as you pull up past the thighs. Pull the stomach in a little to engage the core as the hands come past the hips. Pull the head up last. Shrug the shoulders towards the ears. Squeeze the shoulders together and down. Come to stand with the arms down by the sides and the palms face forward. Inhale, reach the arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, hands down to the hips. Inhale, raise the left leg up. And exhale, take one big giant step towards the back edge of the mat. Pivot the left heel parallel with the back, the right foot parallel with the front. Inhale, reach the arms up and out towards the corners. Exhale, point the heels in towards the middle. Inhale, grow a little bit longer. Reach the arms out big and wide. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the hips down to goddess or horse. Stay here, but with the breath on your inhales, do a little hop, or not with the breath, but continue to breathe and just do these little pulses up and down. Continue to press down through the heels, press down into the toes. Keep the hands raised or bring them together, heart center on tops of the thighs. Continue to do this little bouncy hop. We are now bunnies in spring. That's when bunnies come out, right? Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up and out. Exhale, pivot the right foot towards the front, bend into the right knee, bring both hands down, frame the right foot, pivot onto the ball of the left. Inhale, drop the left knee, untuck the left toes. If you've got blocks or arm extenders, frame the right foot with them. If not, that's fine too. Inhale, raise the chest, reach the arms up, gaze towards the sky. Exhale, hands down, frame the right foot. Inhale, lift through the chest, raise the arms up. Exhale, lower the hands, frame the foot. Inhale one more time, raise the chest, press down into the heel, lift the arms high. Exhale, lower the hands, frame the foot. Inhale, this time, start to slide the right knee over the right toes. If you don't have those arm extenders, bring the hands up to the top of the right thigh. Raise the chest, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten through the right leg, bend the forehead down towards the knee. Inhale, glide towards the front, knee over the toes, lift the heart, press down into the top of the left foot. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the right leg, bow down towards the right knee. Inhale, glide towards the top, knee over toes, chest raises. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the right leg, bend down towards the right knee. Inhale one more time, come all the way towards the front, right knee over the toes, lift through the chest, and then exhale to stay here for one breath. Inhale, push the hips back, straighten through the right leg, bend down towards the right knee, and exhale to stay here. This time we'll stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Press down into the toes and into the top of the foot for more shin action, or pull the toes back towards the face to feel it more through the hamstrings. One more round of breath. Inhale, glide the hips forward, right knee over the ankle. Move the arm extenders off to the side. Exhale, hands down, frame the right foot. Inhale, tuck the left toes, raise the left knee. Exhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right at the front of the mat. Inhale, heel toe the feet together to touch, palms to the front of the shins. And exhale, slow roll your way all the way up to stand. Take as much time as you did on the first side. Keep a slight bend in the knees. Start to push the hips forward as the palms come up past the thighs to cue the core. Bring the arms up towards the ears. Lift the head. Shrug the shoulders high. Squeeze the shoulders together and back. Come to stand with the palms face forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, hands down towards the hips. Inhale, raise the right leg up, knee towards the hips. Exhale, one big giant step towards the back, right foot parallel with the back, left foot parallel with the front. Inhale, reach the arms up and out. Exhale, pivot the heels in towards the middle. Inhale to stay, grow really long, extend those branches out and up. And exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the hips down to chair or goddess. This time, with the inhales and the exhales, start to sway from left to right. If you'd like to make this a little bit more dynamic, something that I've started doing just because it's fun is balancing up on one foot and reaching the arms out, and then balancing up on the other foot. Or just stay with this sway from left to right, just to add a little bit of movement into what's normally a static pose. You can move the arms with the sway, or keep the hands raised or palms together, whatever the body feels like doing. Take one more round of breath here. Come back to stillness in the center. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up and out. Exhale, left foot towards the front, bend into the left knee, sweep both hands down, frame the left foot. Pivot onto the ball of the right. Inhale, drop the right knee, untuck the toes, find those arm extenders if you're using them, and frame the left foot. Inhale, press down into the left foot, raise the chest, reach the arms up, eyes towards the sky. Exhale, hands down, frame the left foot. Inhale, rise through the chest, reach the hands up. Exhale, lower the hands, frame the foot. Inhale, raise through the heart, arms up, gaze towards the sky. Exhale, last time, hands down, frame the left foot. Inhale, start to bring the left knee over the left toes. Press down into the blocks or raise the palms to the thigh. Shrug the chest up. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the left leg, bend down towards the left knee. Inhale, towards the front, knee over the toes, raise through the chest, press the right foot down into the ground. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the left leg, bend down towards the knee. Inhale, glide towards the front, like one of those little water skipper insects. Raise the chest. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten the left leg, bend the forehead down low. Inhale one more time, water skip your way towards the front, knee over the toes. And exhale to stay. We'll stay for one breath. Press down into the top of the right foot for more hip flexor stretch. Inhale, send the hips back, straighten the left leg. And exhale, bow down towards the knees. Stay here for 3 or so rounds of breath. Press down into the ball of the foot for shin stretch. Pull the toes back for more hamstring stretch. Whichever one you choose, stay engaged. Either press down firmly into the ground or pull back firmly towards your face. The more we can engage in this active stretching, the safer and the more longevity we can add to our muscles. One more round of breath here. Inhale the hips forward, left knee over the ankle. Exhale, move the blocks off to the side, frame the left foot. Inhale, walk the left foot out and back, bring the left knee in line with the right. Exhale, push the hips back high for puppy pose or push them back low for child's pose. Stretch the arms out long in front. Bring the forehead down towards the ground. Take 5 deep rounds of breath here. So often we can confuse growth with speed and quickness and how productive we are at something, when sometimes growth can very much be the opposite of that. Sometimes growth means to take things a little bit slower or to cull things that are no longer serving us. Also, random weird fact I learned about plants last year. Leaves don't actually fall off trees in the fall. They're pushed off by the tree as it culls things. So it's kind of weird to learn. You think that the leaves and the trees are working in tandem, but really, once the leaves are done, they get shoved off. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale the hips up over the knees. And exhale, start to slide the hands forward, lower down onto the forearms, the elbows, drop the hips, slither the arms back alongside the torso, reach the fingers towards the toes. Inhale, raise the chest, reach the arms back, lift the head high. Exhale, lower back down to the ground. Inhale, lift through the chest, squeeze the shoulders in, reach the fingers back, press the bottom of the ribs down into the ground. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift through the chest, reach the fingers back, raise the legs for more layers or keep the legs down. Exhale to lower the chest back down. Inhale the palms back to either side of the ribs. Exhale, push up onto the knees, back into tabletop. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, raise the knees, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, take those same dozen steps. This time, if you only grew leaves the first time, you're definitely growing flowers this time. Imagine as if beautiful pink flowers are blooming behind your feet as you step towards the front. These begonia flowers are really quite pretty. They're being very stubborn. Come to the top of the mat. Sway from left to right for a moment. Notice how the balance feels down through the feet. Notice if there's places in the sway and in the movement where the balance feels a little off. Come back to stillness. Inhale the palms to the front of the shins and exhale, slight bend in the knees. Slowly start to drag your way all the way up to stand. Start to push the hips forward to activate the core as you come up past the thighs. Shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and squeeze them together and down and back. Come to stand with the palms face forward in mountain. Inhale to stay. Lengthen through the spine. Reach the crown of the head up. Exhale, ground down through the feet. Press the arms down, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Grow as long as possible. Imagine as if you're between two panes of glass, and whenever you squeeze something between two things, it extends a little bit. So we're all kind of like those gummy things that I don't know if anyone remembers these, that you used to like throw at a wall and they would stick, but they would also expand a little bit. That's what we're doing here. Take one more round of breath here. On your next inhale, bring the hands to the hips, raise the left foot up. Exhale, drop the left foot down. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, lower the right foot down. Inhale, this time raise the left leg, sweep the arms out, lift the hands towards the sky. Exhale, lower the foot, lower the hands back to the hips. Inhale, raise the right foot, swing the arms out, reach the hands up, bring the gaze towards the front. Exhale, lower the hands and the foot. Inhale, raise the left leg, reach the arms up and out. This time, if you'd like, gaze up towards the hand. Exhale, drop the left foot, bring the hands down. Inhale, raise the right leg, sweep the arms out, gaze forward or glance up towards the hands. Exhale, lower the hands, lower the foot back down. Inhale to let the arms fall beside the side and just start to shake from left to right. Add a little bit of a bounce into your movements. Maybe dance from one end of the mat to the other. Just continue to bounce and shake and swing the arms, swing the wrists, smile if that feels right, or cry. Crying is good too. Dancing is great for crying. And then make your way back to the top of the mat. Bring the hands back to the hips. Bring the feet about hip width apart. Inhale, bring the left foot against the inside of the right as a tripod. And exhale, stay here or start to pull the left foot up to the inside of the right calf or up to the inside of the knee. Only go as far as you can pull the right leg without reaching down and adjusting it upwards manually. And it's okay if it rests against the inside of the knee. It'll, our knees are pretty durable. Try not to just, shove into it too much. And from here, you've got lots of options. Leave the hands on the hips or bring the arms out and sway them around like tree branches, or reach the arms up, cross the arms at the shoulders. To add a potentially greater stretch to the inner left thigh, pull the left knee back towards the left hip with the energy of that thigh. You can do this a little bit manually too, with a gentle press against the inside of the left knee. Keep the hips pointed towards the front. It's pretty easy to throw yourself off balance doing that. Take 3 more rounds of breath here. Continue to press down into the right foot. Balance from left to right. Notice how that sensation feels. On your next inhale, bring the left foot back down to meet the right. Shake the right leg out or take some big wide hip circles with it. When you're ready, bring the right foot back down. This time, inhale, press down into the left foot, raise the right knee. And then exhale, bring the right foot to the inside of the left for a little tripod. It's always nice to start here and move incrementally into a more balancing position. Stay here or start to slide that right foot up to the inside of the calf or to the inside of the left knee or to the inside of the left thigh. Figure out what you'd like to do with your hands. Move them out like tree branches or tree limbs, or reach them up. Stay with the breath. Stay focused on the feeling of the air moving through your lungs, through your nose, over your lips. Press down into the left foot. Stay proud through that left hip by lengthening through the left side, trying to grow as long as possible through this entire dimension while balancing on the left foot. Take one more round of breath here. And inhale, bring the right foot back down. Raise the left leg, shake the left leg out, take those hip circles, or do that little dance. Sometimes this can feel nice for the hips to loosen them up if they're feeling a little tight. Swing from left to right. Bring the feet back hip distance apart. Bring the hands to the hips. Start to circle the hips in a counterclockwise motion. Can come back to that nice and slow and deliberate speed, just like we did at the beginning of the class with the neck rolls. Be very deliberate with each movement of the hips, over to the right and forward, over to the left, and then back. Reverse direction. Start to move clockwise with the hips, over to the left and forward, to the right and back. Notice what happens to the weight in the feet. Notice if the toes lift or the heels lift. See if you can continue to move in a very deliberate way and keep the feet firmly planted as you do, to find strength even in this slightly off balancing movement. One more round of breath here. Come back to stillness. Inhale, heel toe the feet together to touch. And exhale. I like to think of this as my zombie fold. Just slowly start to let the arms slide down the front of the legs, bend the knees. I also like to make noise while I do this, so please join in if you like. Eventually, zombie fold your way all the way down to the ground. Plant the palms, step the feet back, lower down onto the knees. Slide the arms forward, lower down onto the hips, the belly. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Plant the palms down firm on the ground. Raise through the chest. Press down into the elbows. We'll stay here for about 5 rounds of breath. And if this arch is too much for the back, just bring the arms and the hands forward a little bit more to decrease that angle. Sometimes it can feel a little crunchy for the lower back in particular. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale the palms back beside the ribs, lower the chin down. Exhale, push up onto the knees, push the hips back. Drop the hips down towards the heels. Walk the hands over to either side. Sweep the legs around and towards the front. You have a blanket or some kind of height, go ahead and for forward folds, and you like that, go ahead and place it underneath the hips. Now, this can help to tilt the pelvis forward a little bit so that we have a little bit more space for the hip hinging. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Stretch the left leg out long. Inhale to lift through the chest, grow as long as possible. And then exhale, start to make your way over towards the left foot. Bend the head down towards the knee. As many blankets or blocks or pillows as you want here. Rest underneath the chest on top of the leg to form a nice relaxing forward fold. I am absent many blankets, so I'm going to stack 2 blocks on top of each other to kind of give the example. This is what it would look like, but more comfortable with more things. There's always the option as well to bend the left foot to raise the knee up and then rest the chest on the left leg if you're lacking in blankets or pillows, much like I am. The farther forward the left foot is, the more of a stretch you'll have through the hamstring. And you can move it to a point where you just slightly feel that stretch. You've still got your chest resting nicely on the leg. And let's take 5 more rounds of breath here. If you've got blocks, you can also stack them underneath the forehead. That works too. One more round of breath here. Inhale, if you're folded forward, start to pull yourself back up. And exhale, swap feet. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right. Stretch the right leg out long. Grab your pillow for it if you've got one. If not, again, start with the right knee bent. Inhale to lengthen through the chest. And then exhale, fold forward towards the right leg. Bring the arms and the palms out along the sides. If you've got blankets or pillows, stack them on top of the right leg. Or you can stack some height and rest the forehead down on it. Or keep the knee bent and rest forward against the right leg. There's no destination that we're trying to get to here. This is more about that deliberate release than it is really feeling any kind of stretch through the hamstring. So add any props that are around you to achieve that release. We'll take another 5 rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, start to lift up if you're folded forward. And exhale, move any blocks or props out of the way. I just realized why it's so dark in here. I don't have the lights on. Bring the feet around towards the front. Bring the hands back behind the hips. Lower down onto your elbows, then all the way down onto your back. If you have a block or a blanket, go ahead and grab it for a nice supported bridge. And if you don't, you can always stack your hands or fists on top of each other. It kind of works as a support. Inhale, bring the knees hip width apart, squeeze the thighs in towards each other, plant the palms on the ground by the hips. Exhale, raise the hips, push the hips towards the sky, lift the lower back, the mid back. Stay here or take that block or blanket or any other prop, place it underneath the hips. We're going to stay for 5 rounds of breath. A nice supported bridge can feel like a lovely way to segue out of a practice. If you have a block and you're feeling like you'd like something a little more inverted, you can always start to raise the feet up towards the ceiling for a modified version of legs up to the wall. Or if you have a wall next to you, you can always take your legs and put them on the wall. Take one more round of breath here. Then start to move the blocker prop out from underneath the hips. Lower the hips down towards the mat. Take one deep breath here. Feel the back of the lungs expand against the floor. Feel the shoulders press into the ground. Inhale, raise the feet up, lift the knees over the hips, bring the arms out into a T or into goal pose. Exhale, let both feet fall over towards the right. To deepen this twist, gaze out towards the left, and to decrease the intensity of this twist, stacks a prop underneath the right leg or knee. We'll stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Breathe deep into the left side. On your next inhale, bring the knees back over the hips. Exhale, let the knees fall over towards the left. Take those options to increase or decrease the intensity of the twist and stay for 3 rounds of breath. Inhale, bring the knees back over the hips. Exhale, wrap your arms around the backs of your thighs or the front of the shins and squeeze the knees in tight towards the chest for a hug. Rock from left to right for a low back massage. And in these last few moments before Shavasana, take any final poses or preparations your body's looking for. Grab another layer or blanket. Take a supine figure 4 or a happy baby. Anything that your body's asking for still. Eventually make your way down into Shavasana. As always, there are plenty of options here. Find any props or blankets or support that you might want for this pose. You can have the feet planted with the knees knocked together, or the feet together with the knees out wide, or the legs out long. And it can be nice to place a blanket rolled up underneath the knees here for a little bit of support to even out the spine. When you make your way there, take one last deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Release your control of the breath. Keep a soft, compassionate, non judgmental focus on the breath. Let the arms and legs, fingers and toes grow heavy. It's still winter yet. It's not quite spring. We have a little bit more time to rest before we start to stretch our branches and grow those beautiful pink flowers and expand outwards. Take this time to allow the body to sink down into the ground. Feel the solidity and the support of the floor or the earth underneath you. Let the legs grow heavy. Let the thighs grow heavy. Let the hips sink down. Let the breath run naturally without any control or restriction. Feel the lungs expand softly into the floor. Let the shoulders relax. Let the eyes soften or close completely. Smooth out any tightness in the cheeks, around the eyes, the jaw. Slowly begin to bring your focus back to your body, beginning with the breath. Add some gentle movement into your fingers and toes and arms and legs. Rock from left to right. Stretch the arms out overhead or bring them out wide by the sides. Eventually make your way over onto whichever side is your favorite side. Use your arms as a pillow for the head. Take a breath or two here. When you're ready, make your way up into a seat facing the front. If it feels right for you, bring your hands together, palms touching at heart center, and bow your head to seal our practice. Thank you all very much for showing up and practicing with me tonight and every night this quarter, for growing with me and growing in your own directions. I hope we can all take some time over the rest of the evening and the time in between the end of this quarter and the start of next quarter to determine what characteristics and attributes we want to cultivate, what directions we want to grow in as we move into spring and into summer, and hopefully out of the dark pandemic time. Namaste.